It's been a minute, hasn't it? But fear not, those barren, pointless summer months of no rugby are over, and we are back in the Premiership Under-18 Academy League, and we're kicking off the Quins Academy streaming season with the oldest of West London rivalries in all but name. It is Harlequins versus London South and Central Rugby, formerly the London Irish Academy, who were champions last season. So this new Harlequins looking under-18s group know that they're going to have their work cut out, and here is a taste of some of the names that are there to enjoy. Wonderfully, as is the trend these days, all the schools and the clubs that have made them the young rugby men that they are today are there for you to see. A smattering of Brighton College, Seaford College individuals, and strong representation from Gordon's, the Harlequins Ace College. If you're into international stardust, you just look to the names of Jamie Miller and Ronan Daniel, who are fresh off the flight from South Africa for their exploits for England under-18s. Whilst for London Irish, you can look to Charlie Griffin at outside centre and the much vaunted Kepu Tuipulotu at hooker. Well, it's lead and skies in Cobham, and it seemingly exists in its own microclimate because we've endured a deluge of torrential rain today. A moment ago I was reaching for my factor 50 years. The sun had everybody squinting, but now it seems to have settled, and Quins kick off this round 2 fixture of the Under-18s League into London Irish arms, where Ed Batchelor returns enthusiastically. London South Central donning the green of London Irish for the very final time. When the Academy League returns in the new year, they'll have new stash and new crest. So for all those London Irish fans tuning in, this is a momentous day because it's the final time any London Irish side will wear the jersey and don the crest. And they hang in that line out. But Quins come away with it before it's stolen in midfield. Kepu Tuipulotu uses a couple of Quins as a speed bump and takes South Central up to the fringe of the 22. A shuddering shot, and driven back in his tracks, Hunter Dean Johns, the recipient of the blow, but George Harris, in his haste to get the pace moving, knocks on from the tap. But committed stuff from both sides in the early exchanges.
I think it'd be short-lived.
Kepu Tuipulotu takes no prisoners in any contact situation, but Quins showing themselves to be a physical match for their West London counterparts. Scrum unsettled and an awkward feed, but eventually well dealt with by Fergus Callington. Whips it out to the right flank, a charge and a bit of chaos, and a result for London Irish. Scrum to them, early pressure in the Quins 22. Quins weren't in action last week. They had a bye week and instead had a hit out against Newcastle Falcons up in Loughborough. They met in the middle of the country, and it was Quins who came out on top, albeit in a pretty tight affair, while London Irish had to use every last second on the clock to beat Gloucester. A last-minute try with the clock in the red, handing them a 33-36 victory. They were without Charlie Griffin there. The England under-18 outside centre, who possesses enough gas to play on the wing as he did out in South Africa. the moment, no South Central player is penetrating the Quins line. A squabble in the air and really, really well dealt with in the end. And Quins have a chance to counter from deep. They seek the edge and use some footwork to try and dance inside the Sam Winters tackle. Tight tip play, red, and a shoulder buried in the midriff from Dean Johns. Callington goes high into these grey Cobham skies and asks Freddie Rosinue to launch a counter-attack, and Tyler O'Fire has a bit of space. Tackled well, tackled low by Elliot Southworth. And Irish looking very comfortable, just probing down the short side at the moment. John Edwards in at first receiver. This time, Irish go out the back. A lovely line offered by Reggie Hammock, and takes a good tackle to bring him down. Ed Batchelor, the next to carry, but that is committed tackling once again from Quins. Sam Warren with the plaudits. A pretty high quality start to this game. South Central certainly know what they're doing, they know what they're about. They're under the guidance of Patrick O'Grady and John Fisher and the great Declan Danaher, who's stewarded so many from the academy up to the professional echelons of the game in his time. Quins haven't got a bad coaching ticket either. Jim Evans, a Quins great. Jared Mullen, who is splitting his time between the academy and London Scottish's campaign at championship level. Guided the women to their maiden Premier 15s title. Plenty of experience for both sets of young players to draw upon. A fire skips through the first tackle. A fire roaming in the backfield, but George Harris can't keep a hold of the offload. Quins, now it's their turn. They spot a bit of space and turn Irish on their heels. Just coming back to that microclimate. The heavens have opened. The line-out goes awry and it's well pounced upon by Sam Warren. And Quins, as ever, are a team in a hurry, a team eager to put it through the hands and give their backs an opportunity to flourish. Rory Minton gets the dustpan and brush out. And Quins, having soaked up all that pressure in their 22, now find themselves in the South Central. So they go to the middle, Quins, and nice little bit of deception as well to free up their hooker to go round the corner, Isaac, but then more offloading play. Quins with a bit of rhythm, with a bit of width, skipping inside, under the post, and it is the opening score for Ben Webb. It all came from the dynamism of the line out. And with Irish scrambling, Ben Webb had the composure and the feet to finish smartly underneath the uprights.
Keep that ball dry, Hammond.
Very important job. Yeah, because if you do that, it'll stop raining. That's brilliant. Well done.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. You like it?
Have no ball. Game.
And the try scorer maximises his effort to 7 points, and Quins, having been all hands to the pump defensively, are the ones who trouble the scoreboard first. Ben Webb, their playmaker at 10, showing them the way. Well, it's a kickoff well taken by Isaac Manuel. Went over the pod initially. Quins finding it a little bit stodgy just outside their 22. A lot of green shoulders to halt their progress.
I must say, we got here an absolute starved out of our brains, so we went to prep, got a coffee and a sandwich.
Fergus Callington of Whitcliffe School pumps it high and tight to the touchline, very well taken, and Ed Batchelor delivers another strong carry, but Quins are hunting. Quins are counter-rucking, and Quins have a bit of advantage to play with as well. Just a juggle. We will have the scrum.
Probably extra as well, isn't it? It just sits on the top, doesn't it?
Am I meant to be filming? Are you close? Having an umbrella off now.
Checking our mouldy line.
You're looking at like, yours is good. This is
I feel quite brolly proud
a
now.
bit lacking in size, maybe.
Yeah,
Lacking
sorry.
in stature.
Story of my life. It's a foul for me.
Girls were it.
Solid scrum
On the phone.
and a good platform, but the defence blitzing up to pressurise the pass.
And you have to have the accent.
And Irish going to get a bit of possession. Good spot this, maybe in their own half, but a nice meaty blindside to work with. And Phil Edstrom of Harrow School has just edged round. He's got Tyler Afire further out to the side.
Get in there, boys!
Irish scrum is under real pressure. Batchelor tidies things up, and Irish go to the boot as Keylock pops up in the back. Lovely feet from Quins, and here they come, flashing down the left flank. Potential of a late tackle on Max Farrell, who put boot to ball, but Finn Keylock shows his physicality. Irish finding room, finding the inside ball. Kepu to Pelotu, rampaging forward, links up with a fire, who puts the hammer down, and it just needed another green jersey on the inside. But fortunately for Quins, they were forwards tracking back and working hard. Ronan Daniel popping up just in the nick of time, at the right time, to deny Irish
It's not far away, is it?
what would have been a very, very attractive score.
Right, honestly.
Right.
Worry more about you, yeah.
It's all about me.
It's normally all about me, but honestly, I'll look after you on this occasion.
Mighty close for a scrum.
Irish with a put in, prime piece of attacking real estate, Charlie Griffin, direct from the scrum half. And the recycle's quick, Batchelor in again, working hard, prominent in these opening exchanges. Tuipulotu takes 3 Quins jerseys to pull him down. This time it's Otto Bennett, 3 meters shy. Irish, no deception, all grit. This time Keylock takes it in. It's just all running off the scrum half at the moment, so it's just asking Quins to make their tackles as Rory McKnight goes in. This time Ollie Agar. Have they beaten the Quins defence enough to go wide? No is the answer. A timely hit, halting Irish's advance. As a fire loops one over to Reggie Hammock, who motors towards the line. Irish a metre shy. A hint for a moment that our referee's arm was going up. Instead, they go from point blank range, round the short side. And Irish have their response. Well, it was great continuity from London, South Central, I should say. You have to forgive me saying Irish. I think this is the last game I can get away with this era, seeing as they are wearing London Irish jerseys. But they put the phases together. You have to tip your hat to the Quins defence, which is looks resolute so far in this opening quarter. And it was a nice looking conversion, but not quite on the money. So Quins still lead 7 points to 5. I think Keylock finds an excellent touch from deep. Very good player who kicks off both feet, in fact. Isn't afraid of going from depth either. It was his tap and go late in the game from within his own 22 that led to the winning score from Aidan Pugh, who's poised to come off the bench wearing 21 later today. Smartly taken by James Davies, and Quins happy to power through the middle, through Henry Williams, but just that inaccuracy outside of Ben Webb, creeping into their game again off the set piece. It's a testament to Irish's press, but also Quins putting their handling under a bit of pressure themselves in what are challenging conditions. You can see a glimmer of blue sky in the distance, but really it's very, very damp out here. It's good harrying from Fergus Callington, a scrappy battle between him and George Harris at the moment. And Freddie Rosigno coming onto the ball. Tuipulotu again right over the first challenge of Jamie Miller, his England teammate. Nice deception coming in from Keylock. But then the ball dislodged in the tackle backwards. No intent to knock it down. Just approaching the conclusion of the first quarter. Irish with a bit of work to do as the ball squirts out, and it's quite artfully done, in fact. Intercept opportunity and plucked out of the air by Quins. A chance to catch London Irish whilst they're disorganised. That is a tricky ball, taking a big bounce, and it's exceptionally well dealt with by Freddie Rosigny. It'll be his opposite number who'll return before the kick from Ben Webb brings his opposite number onto the ball. Max Farrell, he's encouraged to go, the Trinity schoolboy, and he draws in two defenders and gives the pass at just the right time to Quinn Singh. Quins looking in the groove as they enter the South Central 22. Big shot coming in. But advantage is being played. High tackle in that passage. And the quality has been pretty high. And London Irish need to be on alert here. Quins, their red zone efficiency is as good as it gets so far. One entry and 7 points garnered. You would bet they'll be going to the corner to launch another attack from the line out, which they do.
Come on, Quins, let's go, boys!
Ronan Daniel shifts up a couple of places and takes it at the front, and Isaac Buck latches upon it. The Cardinal Newman hooker then breaks away and he fends off George Harris and bursts across the line. Try number 2 for Quins. 2 visits, 2 strikes. Quins ruthless.
Go, Quins, keep it going.
What's down this guy out?
And a peach of a conversion from Ben Webb. Again, turns 5 into 7. And Quins lead London South Central Rugby 14 points to 5. Good chase on the kick coming from Reggie Hammett. Webb, who is really demonstrating a fine kicking display, puts in a kick tricky enough to outfox his opposite number. Keylock's fumble. Draws, whoops and hollers from the benches. And Quins are right where they want to be, searching for a third. Replacement coming on for Quins by the looks of things. Sam Warne, the under-17, departing, and Ashton Graham, another of the youngsters who, confusingly, his home club is London Irish Amateurs. So a little bit of split loyalties once upon a time, but no doubt he's fully committed to the quarters now. It's an excellent pickup on what was the worst kind of ball to receive, not even on the bootstraps, right on the tiptoes. And Quins regain their composure and go probing in the 15-metre channel. And they tap and they go and they're keen to drive the tempo, with Isaac Buck injecting himself onto the shoulder of his scrum half. Wow, Singh finding the gap, Singh one-on-one with all the power and the desire, but a brilliant tackle drags him down 4 metres shy. Webb looking to pick a pass, but only finding a concrete shoulder from Phil Edstrom. And for the first time, Quins in the South Central 22 fluff their lines and they don't come away with a 7-pointer. They do have a penalty.
It's also quite good to keep the game moving a bit. I was thinking when we were at Malvern,
Cardinal Newman's Isaac Buck is on the ball, and Quins have tried to be a little bit too cute there. It is a greasy ball, and those transfers over the shortest of distances, with London South Central defenders accelerating onto your horizon, make them a bit tricky to take. So Irish with a scrum, 25 minutes played, trailing 14-5, and I think that was evident for everyone to see at Cobham RFC that Quins have gone early on the shove there. Just a bit of over-exuberance, knowing that they're the dominant pack at the moment out there. And Jared Mullen and Jim Evans will be furious at that as well. They had Irish right where they wanted them and giving them a let-off with the free kick, which they keep in play. Room in the Irish backfield. Keylock there. Can't step away from the attentions of Farrell. Irish very comfortable on the ball in their own 22. Dean Johns. And Irish breaking through the heart of Quins. Up beyond the 20, the halfway, Aidan Pugh takes them. This time it's McKnight. Agar picks up the crumbs. Rosinute, diminutive but has really jinking feet. Very, very difficult to land a pure hit on him. Keylock to Edstrom. Charlie Griffin to a fire. Hasn't been given the room that he enjoys so far. Quins very watchful of his threat. 2 tries last week against Gloucester. Edstrom to Tui Polotu, little tip onto Dean Johns. The front row working in harmony. And now Sam Winters Sam Winters just into the 22 and evading the touchline. Achala, hard-working number 8. Irish finding their rhythm, finding a little bit of space in the backfield, and that's brave work from Elliot Southworth, who may have knocked on, but he had to make that interjection, sliding in at the feet. He's done himself a mischief in the process.
Classic his style.
Interestingly, Elliot Southworth, he's actually at school at Hartbury College, so by rights you'd think he should be wearing the red of Gloucester, but formerly of Trinity and Croydon, so he started his journey with Quins and being retained along the way. And you can see why Quins are eager to keep him in their stable. Very courageous in the way that he threw himself down at that ball, and at the moment at a bit of personal cost.
No.
Well, they've been working hard, both sets of players. Quins have been training 3 times a week for the last 8 weeks.
Must be something about the position being in front row, which makes everybody grumpy.
Grueling pre-season ahead of their academy campaign, and this will be the last action before the league returns in the new year. They'll be revisiting for top-up sessions throughout that time, though. All these academies stay in good contact with the players, with the parents, with the schools as well that they're representing. But Quins are demonstrating the benefits of that 8-week block. Whereas for London South Central Rugby, you can imagine from the dissolvement of London Irish, there was a little bit of uncertainty surrounding their programme, and thankfully from the ashes, London South Central has been rescued, and London South Central go off through Phil Edstrom, who only had eyes for the line but pulled back for the tap not being from the mark. And yeah, London South Central, they've missed a few weeks. They're feeling like their boys are in a good place, but maybe not quite at the condition level that they would ordinarily have them due to that delay in getting the programme started, but hoping to show a bit of strength and conditioning as they build this maul and try and attack the Quins line. Quarter jerseys scramble and try their best to resource the halt of the shove, and after a long hard look, Becky Piddleston raises her arm, blasts her whistle and signals London South Central second. Well, a decent effort from the tee, but at the moment it is the conversions of Ben Webb that are the difference. as we just begin to edge into the final minutes of this first half. Quins leading 14 points to 10. Ben Webb and Finn Keylock seem destined to seek each other out for the entirety of this game. The long kickoff is returned emphatically all the way up to the halfway. Taken smartly by Elliot Williams, straight off the top and into the hands of Quinn Singh, who ordinarily wears the number 2 jersey for his school Trinity, but doing a impressive and uncompromising job wearing 6 today. Freddie Rosignew, albeit giving a slightly loose offload there, as look assured himself at fullback in suboptimal conditions for those who wear a 15. Keylock directing traffic, but directing it forward on this occasion. Sam Calman on at scrum half, trained hard, he's got an opportunity to stake his claim for the 9 jersey. And Southworth has shaken off that knot. And Rona Daniel, the England 18. Just a bit of indecision about what to do there. Daniel, very, very rangy and athletic, number 8. Ethan Manzi carries things a little bit more directly. Quins have a penalty in their back pocket.
Corner or corner.
Quins into the corner that has yielded both their tries in this half, and Irish will be questioning themselves of what they might do. The first bit of subterfuge from what appeared to be a driving maul that opened up things for Ben Webb. Then it was the hooker Isaac Buck. This time they go to the tail, and this time they build a maul that goes immediately forward. They shunt their way, they roll round the corner. Isaac Bucks just being grappled and wrestled back at the key moment. And Quins will rebuild from 5 out. Manzi coming round the corner. Simple pick and goes, just chewing an extra metre off and creating a gap round the fringe to plunge through for a 3rd. And Quins stretch their lead.
It's a girls' game. What? It's a girls' game. Oh, no.
Oh, right, oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 18. I'm looking at him now. Sorry.
Ben Webb, flawless from the tee thus far. Keeps it that way as we head into the half. A third try from the sizable frame of Ollie Streeter means that as the teams take to their huddles, it is Harlequins leading London South Central Rugby 21 points to 10.
Season's going really well. This week we had a group train against England and the Premiership Cup group stayed here and trained. It's been ramped up. We're into full contact and starting to layer in more technical stuff leading into game one. Danny's slotted in, I think because he did time with us before, he's slotted in very quickly and easily and added a new energy and a new element of sort of detail and ideas, so he's been fantastic. Yeah, the three London Irish boys have settled in really quickly. Guys like Joe Launchbury and Jared Evans have also settled in quickly, and we're starting to see them talk a lot more at training and lead a lot more at training, so we're really happy with the group we've got, and those new guys have slotted in very quickly. As we stand today, the health of the squad is fantastic. Joe Launchbury's in full flow, Stefan, Luis, Liner, Green, Northmore. There's a lot of guys who the medical staff done a great job with, and they're starting to get through sort of week after week reps, which means we've got some great depth leading into game one. You know, the first couple of games, a lot of fringe players and some younger guys mixed in with a couple of senior guys will get opportunities against Hartbury and Coventry, and you know, we're in that to win it and start well and set a bit of a standard. So there's a group leaning in towards that, and at the back end another group's been prepared for those last 2 or 3 games. So yeah, we can't wait to get going. It's a long pre-season, so having some games on the horizon is good for us. The Barbarian game is really important because it's our last game going into the first Premiership game. You know, the last experience we had, it was a great atmosphere. We're using it to go into Premiership 1, so it will be a very detailed approach, but we will naturally have a few barbarians things up our sleeve like we did last time, so we're really looking forward to it.
Definitely enjoying it. It's been good. All the boys have been pretty welcoming and stuff, and just learning all the plays and stuff and just getting used to it, but it's an awesome environment to be a part of. It's like quite similar environments. Everyone's very welcoming, and like the way they play is exciting, and it's like a quick attacking brand of rugby, which I like, so it's easy to transition into. Definitely knowing some of the boys before I came in has definitely helped. So I've sorted out the house, living with Will and Cass obviously makes everything a bit easier, and just having them to make the transition easy, it's always good. I think obviously you've got to aim pretty high, so obviously winning some trophies is up there, so hopefully with this team and the players we've got here, I think definitely have a chance, and obviously just keep developing as a player and trying to put my best foot forward for the team will be up there, yeah. Now the crowd's crazy there, so you know, Friday night lights there would be awesome, and hopefully I get a chance to run out there this season.
The teams are ready. The refs are not, so we're just waiting for Becky Piddleston to make her way to the middle to, well, first tot up all the personnel and make sure it's 15 aside. Ensure that both sides are ready, and with the score, London South Central trailing 10 points to Harlequins 21. There is much to do for the men in green, who kick off with the clouds having parted and the sun beating down. We've gone from being drowned in rain to now frantically unfurling our coats. It is warm out there, and it is hard going as well in the physical areas of the pack. Ed Batchelor and Quins have both been prominent, as is the captain, Ronan Daniel, who's charged down, isn't rewarded because it was a penalty advantage, and Irish are just trying to accelerate the tempo of the game through Aidan Pugh. Tui Palotu, always a handful. Rory McKnight takes Irish on a few more metres, deep into the Quins 22 now, but an errant pass just steals away a little bit of their momentum. Hammock does very well to go not just from a standstill but from in reverse. And there might just be a conversation here for Quins and their indiscretions. Aidan Pugh, who's got the ball in his hands there, has really sort of sparked things up for Irish since coming on. Interestingly, he's at the Pigott School, which is a non-rugby playing school, so he's getting his fill of code as part of the London South Central Academy. And unfortunately for them, Quinn Singh has just got his fill off the back of that stolen line out. Quarter jerseys finding holes in the midfield, and support pouring through. Look on the right, it's the 10 feeding Isaac Manuel, and it is try time for Quins early in this second half, and a bonus point with a rapier-like counter. Well, Irish, as they once were known, now London South Central Rugby Academy. Only moments ago, banging on the door of the Quins line, but a stolen set piece and the quickest of flashes out wide of that contact area. And you could see the Quins players' eyes light up options are plenty, and one of them was the man who made the assist. Ben Webb slots over his 4th conversion of the afternoon. And that task for London South Central has got just that little bit taller. 28 points to 10 they trail. Keystone goes high, hanging, and really well taken by James Davies, who's hoisted up by his pod. Isaac Buck, first half try scorer. Fork lifted, up and backwards. Such was the quality of that turnover from Tui Pelotu. And South Central are right back where they were. Only the blink of an eye and the flash of a Quins counter ago. This time, can Tui Pelotu find his jumper? Plenty of movement, difficult to read, and it works for Irish, who wrap around and they pour their bodies in. Tui Pelotu's in command at the back, but he selflessly gives it to Aidan Pugh, who picks up a 2nd try in as many weeks. Just the response London South Central demanded. Beautifully worked line-out routine. They suck the defenders in with the thread of the driving maul and Tui Pelotu at the back. And then Pugh, unattended, down the short side with a simple finish. Finn Keylock with a chance to add a couple more. It's not his day from the tee thus far, but the key thing for Irish is that Quins are back in sight on the scoreboard. 28 points to 15. It's been end to end to kick off this 2nd half. And the Quins' appetite for tackling showing no signs of abating. A really strong chase. Charlie Hoyler's carry was good, but the clear out was a little bit reckless. Brad Webb immediately sizes up the touchline. Ben Webb, I beg your pardon. I have the famous All Black Brad Webber in my mind, but this one, equally as silky by the looks of things, is Ben Webb. The captain, Daniel, calls it to himself, but there's enough competition in the air for Irish to come away with it. Griffin to Rosinho, to a fire. Shuddering shot, stopping the Irish advance, but that's good strength, good power to drive on through the gap from McKnight. Nice shakes from Irish, who carve Quins open, and support arrives on the right hand side. Just the faintest of offloads, best sighting of South Central at their most fluid. A bit of a talking to here for Reggie Hammock, who only saw 20 minutes of action last week against Gloucester, because as you can see from his heavily taped forehead, he got himself split open as he launched himself into the dark areas of the game. But back today and captaining, and clamped onto the side of that ruck where he needs to fly off and put a bit of pressure on this Quins attack. But their pressure that they put on their own handling forces the opportunity for Rafia, who skips through, then offloads to Pugh, and he gets enveloped by the tackle of Ronan Daniel. Irish looking good though. Lovely pick up with the left hand, and then the straightening of Sam Winters, who adds to his try last week against Gloucester. And Irish are back on song. Conversion here for Finn Keelock would do very nicely indeed. They would take it to a one-score game. This time pushed across the face of the uprights. So Quins, with questions to answer of themselves, there's two quick concessions, bring London South Central right back in to the contest. 28-20. Good pick up from Webb, who instinctively looks at Emmanuel, but a fire's there first. Unfortunate to knock on in his attempt to gather. The game's come alive from those two Irish tries. They're starting to feel it a little bit more. You look at the energy of these two packs, you look at sort of the bristling nature, I'd have to say London South Central have been truly buoyed by those quick fire scores. Aidan Pugh Jesus forwards on, and well, it's an awkward position for the Quins front row, but fished out and the back's released. Manuel, who is just pure pace, almost escaping the clutches of the Irish defenders. You would have said if he had gone, no one would have seen him again, but Quins have stolen through before knocking on in the tackle. Threatening stuff, but coming to nothing for the quarter jerseys. Irish, full of adventure. Keylock finding the pass. A fire with room to work with. Goes on the outside, and it's a very, very good tackle from Rory Minton that needed to be made. Hammock just tips it onto his front row replacement, Hollier. Again, the tackles raining in from Quins. Their defence has been impressive despite the 4-try concession. The sideline not happy with the nature of the tackle from Ashton Graham. That's a great call, and a fire arrived just in time. Wonderful bit of vision, the call coming in from Rory Minton, and then he was looking for Isaac Manuel, but a fire was Johnny on the spot. A timely interception. Far more entertaining second half this. Both sides have really come alive. It's a knock on from Quins. I wonder if it'll be scrum or penalty advantage, but as it is, it's advantage to Phil Edstrom, who looks to go the long way round before losing his footing. And you have to say that London South Central are showing absolutely no interest in putting boot to ball and exiting in the conventional manner. It is ingrained in the DNA of those who have gone before them. As I said before, London South Central rescued from the ashes of London Irish, and you think of some of the thrilling players that have graduated from this academy in years gone by. Most recent Henry Arundel heading off to the World Cup with England. Quins have got some thrillers themselves, and they're two sides who love to put the ball through the hands. Sometimes you need a bit of a directness, and that comes from Charlie Griffin, who sets up Keylock under immense pressure, gets charged down. Isaac Manuel looks inside and then may just get it back. The broken field is where this individual really prospers. Irish shut him down, and Quins rebuild from the halfway line. Quinn Singh very, very busy. Quins are a little bit flat, but Elliot Williams gets the go forward. But Irish, having turned the ball over, give away a penalty on the floor. Quins at the moment may not be quite as precise as they have been at other stages of the game, but this is certainly the area of the field that they want to be playing in. They've been spending concerted amount of time down here now since that Irish double strike. And they go to their favoured left corner, which has been the source of a lot of try-scoring joy for them. Full line out, taken by Williams at the front, and then offloaded, and Buck's invited to rampage down the short side, but he's dropped short of the line. Quins cluster around the breakdown and dive at the line again. South Central resolute for the time being. Quins hammer again. Slip through the hole, find the paint, and it's try number 5.
Well done, Quins!
You have to tip your hat to the ruthless nature of Harlequins when they get into the red zone, especially that left-hand corner. The 4th time they've profited from the line out when going from close range, and this time no different to the ones that have gone before. Irish doing their best to repel them. Sometimes that relentlessness can only be delayed. Ben Webb maintains his 100% record from the tee. So nearly 55 minutes played, and Quins back out to a healthy lead, 35-20. That try, they'll hope, just punctures the air out of the London South Central hope of coming back, but there is plenty of rugby to play still.
Come on, Quinn!
A few fresh faces on the field now, but one who's been ever present is McKnight. He gets launched at the towel, and Tui Pelotu takes the responsibility on his own. Pugh to McKnight. He's really had a busy game, and round the corner, great dynamism as Will May comes into the fold. The other second row, Felder meter shy. Tui Pelotu takes 3 Quins jerseys to bring him down. Pugh implores his forwards to work hard round the corner, and as they put another pass onto the chain, Quins read it, and that is a brilliant interception. You wonder whether London South Central could have kept it tight, just been a bit more patient a la Harlequins. But they can get a chance to go from range now as they're flashing it through the hands, and a fire once again gets wrapped up. Great tempo to the Irish player at the moment, and the inside ball, if it could have been taken from Pugh, would have been try time. Linking up with Ben Littlefair. He's come on wearing 22. But as it is, a scrum to Quins. And a chance for a few lungs to furnish themselves with a bit of extra oxygen as well. It has been a relentless pace, very, very open. Just the kind of rugby you want to encourage at under 18 and under 17 level. London Irish bring on Isaac Sprenger, wearing 18, and Henry Dargan wearing 20, who's under 17-year-old. Isaac Sprenger, formerly of the Yorkshire Academy. Henry Dargan, who is pretty impactful around the ruck area, hard-working back row. Looking to bring his oomph in the closing stages of this match. Martin Chalmers looks to be coming on at hooker, so Kepi Tuipulotu shifts to open side. Martin Chalmers, a product of Bishop Wands, the ace college that feeds the London South Central Academy. And his introduction has seen Quins' scrum go in reverse, but they still manage to come away with the ball before a knock-on is rapturously received by the players and supporters on this touchline.
Come on, Quins!
And as prime pieces of attacking real estate go, you don't get much better than this. In the shadow of the uprights, big blind side to work with, where Irish have got 3 attackers stacked. Ben Littlefair, Max Winter, a new arrival wearing 23. And outside of him, Sam Winters, wearing 14, a commentator's nightmare. And potentially a Harlequin defender's nightmare if they can get the ball, which they won't, because it's a huge scrum penalty from Quins. And Ben Webb takes his time, cool, calm and composed, and finds a very nice touch indeed to distance their opponents from their try line once again. You just see a bit of game management now. Irish ready, set, prime for the line out. Quins not in much of a hurry to form up, but they do arrive in the end. Ronan Daniel with the dummy jump, and then it's James Davies, but the throw not accurate enough. It's a bit of inaccuracy creeping into the game now from both parties. It's understandable. It's been played at a frenetic pace out there. The Irish scrum in the ascendancy, and it offers Pugh a chance to go for a dart. Offloads to Tuipulotu. Irish on the porch of the Quins 22. A defensive read might have created a hole for Griffin to find a fire, to find another try, but Daniel comes across and snuffs out the threat. Still, green jerseys come through Dean Johns. Pugh. Irish seeking the edge, a bounce pass that just seeps forward. It always looked that way as it wobbled in the air. Charlie Hoyler would have taken some stopping from that range at that pace. But it was all immaterial because of the pass. Time slipping away from London South Central. Quins leading 35-20. But Irish in the right part of the field. If they're to overturn this one, they'll be looking back into the memory bank for the time that they produced a comeback victory against Quins last season at Hazelwood. The likes of Tui Pelotu and Afire involved on that occasion. But as they give up another penalty at the scrum and they get punished once again from the boot of Ben Webb, it is looking a little bit more remote. Isaac Buck, who's been tough and physical and energetic all game, goes to his captain.
Go on, Quinn!
He slots himself in at his second home, back of a driving maul, head up like a periscope, just looking for options.
Come on, Quinn! Come on, Isaac!
And he calls in a few buddies wearing quarters to help him an extra metre. Pop onto the newly introduced Zuko Rob. Tackle low round the ankles. Quins replacements bringing their desire into the match. Finn Healy. Wow, it was red and the tackle was signed, sealed and delivered. The uncompromising Tui Pelotu. Not much that even big Ollie Streeter could do about that one. Ollie Streeter is not an insignificantly sized individual. That's Tui Pelotu is probably one of the only others on the field who could hit him with that much might. And as the London South Central side of the scrum crumbles, it's adjudged to have been illegally so. And Irish get their counter up and running. Nice fizzed ball to the edge where Charlie Griffin crops up and puts the ball on the toe. It's carried back across the line by Quins. Becky Piddleston just confirms with her assistant, by the way that the teams are shaping up, it looks like it may have already been across the line because it's a goal line dropout. It's a goal line dropout that's carried across the threshold by Sam Winters.
Come on, you mighty Quinn! Go on, Isaac!
Very accomplished showing from the right winger of London South Central today. He's slotted in at fullback for the second part of this game, with Griffin moving to the wing and Afire maintaining his position on the left. Another throw, doesn't go to hand. And unfortunately for Martin Chalmers, the referee's whistle had already blasted before he latched on and looked to have maybe taken a bit of advantage. Possession given right back to Quins, and how can they use it? a try to finish their afternoon at Cobham RFC maybe. As Rory Minton's options are shut down, and well, they look to go quickly as Minton hops his way back into the line. Ben Littlefett navigates London South Central into the Quins 22 once again. They spent plenty of time here this half, but they've had little to show in the second half of this half. That sustained time down in the 22. This time it's Martin Chalmers in the driving seat at the back as the green jerseys roll forward. Directed by Pugh, controlled by Chalmers. It feels inevitable. An Irish try designed by the pack. Scored by Chalmers. The referee takes a long, hard look. Confers with her assistant. Awards the score. And while Irish have the try, it's probably a case of just too little too late. And Littlefett gets his skates on. Not too big an impact as Irish we're still going to be adrift by more than a score. The 35-25. 70 minutes on our clock, not always perfectly in step with our referees, so there could be a little bit more meat on this contest.
Pressure! Go, excellent!
Get over that ball! Right.
Irish looking to weave and step their way through the coordinated defensive efforts of Quins, who get them all wrapped up, and while Irish fight, really they're toiling with only one outcome destined. Quins successfully hold Irish up, and it draws an entertaining match to an end, and it is one that has been won by the team in quarters. The Quins Academy boys get the job done, 35 points to 25. Plenty of tries from both teams, and each with a purple patch at various stages, but the difference, Harlequins' ruthlessness when the line was in their sights. A good start to the academy season for Harlequins, with a victory in their opening match here at Cobham RFC for London South Central Rugby Academy. It is the first loss after their victory against Gloucester. As you can tell from that match, there is plenty more excitement to come across this academy season, and it is one that Harlequins will be bringing to you on the live stream. So for all you Harlequins fans out there, it is the only place to see the next generation of Harlequins. That is, unless you come down and support the boys in person, and the support has been healthy, it has been vociferous, and next up for them, they are going to get to enjoy the under-17s in action. However, for our stream, the under-18s match is done and dusted, and it is Harlequins who are victorious, 35 points to 25 against London South Central Rugby Academy.
Cool.